I want to share with you an email that I got from a speech language pathologist. The question that she asked, she said, I have several students on my caseload who come from Hmong-English speaking families. The parents speak to each other and to other adults in the house in Hmong, but they only speak with their children in English. So these students are not considered bilingual because they only speak English and they don't speak Hmong. However, they are identified as English language learners and they receive EL services. She goes on to say, during my evaluations with these students, I have always considered the variations in Hmong and English, and I have not identified the students as having a language impairment because their grammatical errors in English follow what would be considered appropriate in Hmong. She noted that she's always recommended increasing the EL services, but that she's getting a lot of pushback from the EL teachers who feel like these kids should get all the help that they can get. She says, am I wrong when considering Hmong language grammar structures influencing English when in fact these students are not bilingual and are English speaking only? So the answer to that is no, you are not wrong in considering that. It is a really important thing for us to consider when we think about the fact that these children are hearing Hmong influenced English on a regular basis. It makes sense that they would produce those same speech patterns. So we want to be able to look at the Venn diagrams and say, hey, what are the sounds that might be influenced? And is this what we're hearing in these children's speech? Really important for us to account for that and not to diagnose them with a speech disorder because they're using patterns that they hear all the time. So really important. Another really important thing is you talked about the pushback from the EL teachers saying these kids should get all the help they can get. We need to be really clear that speech language pathologists serve students who have speech and language disorders, not children who are exhibiting typical patterns of language influence. And in this case, if the patterns are absolutely consistent with what we would expect in Hmong, either from a speech perspective or a language perspective, then we do not want to put them in speech therapy. That is not where they belong. So a great question that we all need to think about when we're working with children whose families speak another language in the home setting.